Exodus 20:10. V'yom hashevi'i shavat l'Hashem Elohecha. Lo ta'aseh chol malacha. Ata uvinecha uvetecha avdecha va'amatecha uvechemtecha v'gerecha asher visharecha. This continues the fourth commandment, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. You shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, your servant or your maidservant or your animal, or your residing foreigner who is in your gates, or perhaps is within the town or the compound or something like that, but a gated living situation. We'll take a look at ta'aseh. Now this comes from ayin, sin, hey, to do, and we notice there is a patak under the prefix pronoun. Well, that makes it look at first like it could be a hifil. However, when we notice that it begins with an ayin, that is, this is a pei guttural, and ayins prefer patak, so this is not a hifil, this is actually a kal, imperfect, to ms. You shall not do. We'll do a brief review of the vavs. Now this is a disjunctive vav or a contrastive vav. It doesn't have the sense that of and here, but it's a but, because it kind of switches directions from the previous verse of the 6 days of doing and the seventh day of not doing. But notice morphologically, it's just the vav with a simple shva. And in the grocery list here, we have one other simple conjunctive vav, and or rather, this is probably or the residing foreigner. But notice we have and for those three. Now, for these three, we need to remember the so-called bump rule. Now, the bump rule means that when we put a vav, conjunctive vav, on the beginning of a word that begins with beit, mem, or pei, that it converts the vav into a shurik. And then finally we can notice the vav with a patak under it on the front of maidservants, va'amatecha. And here we have an assimilation going on. Because of the aleph and the composite shva, there we have an assimilation to patak, because we cannot start a word with two shvas. So the Sabbath is not just for the individual citizen, but it's for the entire household.